financial overrated or underrated? Okay. And I got to bring up my guy Dame Dash because I'm going to use his word.
All right.
Being your own boss, entrepreneurship. In this finance community, every channel you go to is entrepreneurship. So is entrepreneurship or being a 1099 employee, is it overrated or underrated to you?
100% overrated. And I say that very truthfully, right? Because, bro,
Right.
I get up at 4 a.m. to do what I got to do, right?
Right.
That's part of the regimen that I do. I get my Kobe on, right? You will wake up and I'll have ice on my knees already.
Right. You already put in the work.
Yeah, I already sweating and everything, right? It's totally overrated because everybody's not built to be the boss. All right.
Right.
If that was the case, then we just would have more bosses naturally. But we
Right.
don't, because there's a lot of work involved in order to do this. And you have to be very disciplined, and the average person does not have the required discipline it takes to be I'll say successful boss. You can be a boss, right? But success requires different energy, and a lot of people don't have that cloth that they were cut from.
Yeah.
So it's overrated in that sense because it gets sold as this, this sexy word that you can just go do. But then when you break it down and you open up the manual and you see it's a 10,000 page manual, you're like, maybe it's not for me.
Right. Yeah. I agree, bro. I put entrepreneurship in the overrated category, and I put in the overrated category because I just get, every time I see a YouTuber, it's entrepreneurship. Like, very few people make passive income from their passive income. I feel like we got to put some respect on active income's name. If it wasn't for, we use our active income to put us in a position to create passive income. Unless you're a third or fourth generation millionaire and you've inherited passive income, and that passive income is making more passive income, most people are working to put that active income to work to get the passive income. But I think the other distinguishing thing we got to understand is entrepreneurship is overrated, and entrepreneurship is a big ass difference from being self-employed. Here's the definition. If you're self-employed, that means you have to get your ass up, and if your feet don't move, you don't get a check. Somebody don't eat. A utility may get cut off. And when you hit entrepreneur status, you can take off. The typical emergency fund is 3 to 6 months. That's the recommendation. For me, an entrepreneur is someone who can remove themselves from that employment cycle, that entrepreneurship employment cycle, for 3 to 6 months, and the business still works like clockwork and generate income. So I feel like everyone says, oh, you want, and I understand, as an entrepreneur, there's no ceiling on how much money you can make. The sky's the limit. But most people who are entrepreneurs are self-employed. They aren't entrepreneurs. If they don't drop their course, if they don't film that YouTube video, if they don't go collect that rent, if they don't go get that toilet repaired, a check isn't going to come. So I agree with you there. I definitely think that is overrated as hell. I think we need to put some respect on active income's name, because you got to use the active to get to that passive that we all want. That's just, so I think we're going to agree on that one.
Yes. I did a podcast specifically on that topic, that it was called "It's Okay to Have a Job," because that whole thing of people thinking that be their own boss mentality. Look, the world still needs people that check people in at the hospital. The world still needs people who drive you somewhere. All of that stuff is still something that needs to happen. You need your plumbers. Somebody needs to still get you out of a jam in that case, right?
Right.
All of that stuff still needs to happen. So it's okay, man. If you like doing that, ain't nothing wrong with that. Just keep doing that, man. What I highly recommend is that the money you acquire from that, you just put that to work. Don't sit there and count on that money always coming in, because, hey, man, one day just be walking and boom, hit by a car. Anything can happen, man. You know, so you just got to make sure that that money is put to work. So in the event that you can no longer work, that money is working.
Right. That's hey, good point.